For today's 12 days of tutorials, I created this gorgeous green halo eye using the Oden's Eye Merry Christmas palette. So as you guys probably know, the Merry Christmas and the Christmas Eve palette launched last year, but they did re-release it this year with their holiday launches, and so many people voted for this palette, so I was so happy to use it again because I think I only have one video with this palette on my channel. I just had to dive into those green shades to create kind of a holiday green look, so if you want to see how I got this eye look, go ahead and keep on watching. I'm so excited to dig into this Merry Christmas palette because I actually haven't really used it that much. So I was swatching some of the shades last night to get an idea of what I wanted to do today, and I think I want to do a green look, so I'm going to stick with these two top rows right here. I'm going to start with the fluffy packing brush in this matte shade New Leaf, and I'm going to pack that throughout my entire crease. I was kind of worried that the shade was going to be super pigmented at first, but just with the first dip into the shade, I'm actually very happy with how this looks. I did dip back into that shade, and I'm going to build this up even more. That is what that shade looks like packed throughout the entire crease. Now I do want to blend these edges a little bit. So I'm going to take the shade Best Wish on a small fluffy blending brush. And I'm just taking a little bit of the shadow and I'm going to blend around all of those edges of New Leaf. And I'm using a really soft hand to blend around these edges because I just want a really light layer of this lighter green. Now I do want to do a halo eye today, so I'm going to take more New Leaf and pack that on my outer corner and my inner corner. And I'm using that fluffy packing brush that I started with. You can see that I'm leaving that center part of my lid blank for now. Now I want to deepen up the outer and inner corner even more. So I'm going to take Christmas Tree on this small crease brush, and I'm taking that shade on the flat side of the brush like that. I want to keep this shade pretty close to my lash line in my lid. I'm not going to blend it up as high as I did with those other green shades because I just want to use this to deepen up the eye look. And I love this brush for this kind of step because it just fits perfectly on this smaller area of my eye. And then again, adding that shade to the inner part of the lid. All of these greenish shades are blending together beautifully. I'm so happy with how this looks so far. Now I want to add a shimmery shade to the center of my lid to really make this look pop, and I'm going to do the same technique that I did in my last halo eye video with the soft glam palette. So I'm going to take a little bit of concealer and just do a dot right in the center of my lid, and then I'm going to look up and around, and you can see that transferred, and that is totally fine because that's exactly where I want that to be. Now I'm going to take a small flat lid brush. This is a rephr 28, and I'm going to start to blend that concealer out. And you can skip this concealer step if this is a little too tricky for you and just go in with your shimmer shadow right away. But by adding this concealer base, it's really going to make that shimmer shade pop on my lid. Now I'm going to take New Year on that lid brush I was just using, and that's going to go right on top of the concealer. So I'm just focusing this shade on the very center of my lid. And then I'm just kind of taking whatever is left over and kind of fanning it out a little bit, kind of towards the inner and outer corner. Now I'm going to pick up Snowman on that same brush, and that's going to go in the very, very center of my lid. See if I can make this stand out even more. It's not doing what I wanted. I'm actually going to try that on my finger because on my finger it looks beautiful. There we go. It kind of makes it more like a lime green color. It's really, really pretty. I am always so impressed with Oden's Eyes eyeshadows. Like, they are just so pigmented and apply beautifully on the eyes. I went ahead and did my under eye concealer off camera. Now let's do the lower lash line. I'm gonna start with a black liner in my waterline. This is the Haus Labs Gel Kohl Liner in Punk. This is really just the creamiest black liner I've ever used. Did you see how easily that applied? Now I'm going to take a small smudge brush with nothing on it and start to kind of smudge around that black liner and pull it down a little bit. Now I'm going to go back to that first green shade I started with, New Leaf, and add that to the lower lash line. And then I am following this lower lash line towards the outer part of my eye. Now I'm going to take that lightest green shade, Best Wish, on my small crease brush and use that to blend out and soften the lower lash line. Now I'm going to take my Rare Beauty highlighter in Enlighten and pop that in my inner corner and right under my brow. I went ahead and finished up this eye look with my mascara and lashes, and for my lashes I'm wearing the Bright Lashes Half Lash in Flutter. I did also touch up the black liner on my waterline, and as always I did do a little small black line of shadow and liner on my top lash line to help hide my lash band. And here's the final close-up of this eye look. And here is what the full face looks like. I did switch up my lipstick today. I'm wearing the e.l.f. O Face Satin Lipstick in No Doubt. I was struggling a little bit to find a blush and lip combo to go with this green eye, and I feel like it's still not exactly what I want, but I'm calling it good. If you want to know what blush I'm wearing, I used my Hourglass blush quad that's in my project pan. This came out like 3 years ago, but I just mixed these two shades together. But I just love how this eye look turned out. It is so green and intense, and I'm thinking like if you're going to a holiday party and you want a green look, this would be perfect. I love getting to use this palette again today because, like I said, I did not give it enough love when it came out last year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.